And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with the Game Boy Geek.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Hey, one of my favorite games to introduce anybody to is Ticket to Ride. Oof, no more to be said, right? It's just a great game to play with anybody, gamer or not. So today we're going to take a look and we're going to go from my house about 5,000 miles over the ocean to Asia, where we're looking at the Ticket to Ride Asia map, which comes with a double-sided board. It comes with a way to play with teams, and it has a flip side where you'd play normally but with some other different rules. Let's check it out, see how it's different from the regular version from the USA or Europe, for example, and see if those differences are something that you're going to want to pick up. Let's go to Asia, get on the train, and all aboard! Ticket to Ride Asia is an expansion. You do need the regular version of Ticket to Ride to play this version. It's a double-sided board. This side has the Team Asia board on it. The other side has the Legendary that we'll get to later. And let's talk about the board and how it's played. First of all, it's played for 4 to 6 people, 4 or 6. So you're going to have 2 or 3 teams, both teams being 2 people. Those 2 people will sit right next to each other. Each of them will get one of these nice things that comes with the board game that helps you hold your cards. And it comes with some extra trains. So you take all the trains for a specific color from the original Ticket to Ride, you add the 9 trains that come with the Asia map, and then you split them up into 27 trains each. Each person keeps their trains separately, but these card holders are going to be shared cards between the 2 players. At the beginning of the game, each of the players and partners are going to get the 4 train cards that they usually get. Now again, these are secret, so when they actually get these, they won't be shown. These will be kept secret. Each of them will have them. They won't know what their partner has. They also get 5 of these destination tickets. From the 5, they range anywhere from 3 points to 18 points in this game. They have 5 and they have to select at least 3 of them. They can discard the other ones if they want, but they got to keep 3. Then once they've both selected at least 3 and they've discarded any ones that they want, at the same time, both players on the same team are each going to put one of the cards that they kept into the shared destination ticket folder that only each of them teammates can see. These are sort of ones that you both know about, but you each have secret ones that they don't know about. Once the game started, like normal Ticket to Ride, you can take, if you're going to take train cards, you can take 2 cards. Let's say you took 2 off the top. When you take a card, you have to decide, does it go into our shared holder that both of us get to see, or does it go in my hand face down that they cannot see? Now, you have to do one of both. So on the first card, if I take it and I put it face down in my hand, the next card that I draw has to go into the shared card holder. If the first card that I draw goes in my shared card holder, then the second one that I draw has to go secret in my hand. So half the information you're getting for the train cards are going to be shared between your teammate, and the other half that you're getting is going to be secret from your teammate, even though you're working together. Also, instead of picking up train cards or playing train cards and placing trains on the board, one additional thing you can do in this version is you can take any 2 train cards from your hand that your partner cannot see, and then place those in your ticket holder for them to see, but that's your whole turn. At least now you're sharing information with your partner. Let's say you want to use your turn to get more destination tickets because you finished all yours already. You pull 4 destination tickets from the pile. You have to keep at least one of them. One of the cards that you keep has to go in your shared holder. The other ones you can keep. So if you're only keeping one, it's going in your shared that your other teammate can see. If you're keeping more than one of them has to go there and the rest of them go secret in your hand. Again, some of it's shared, some of it's not. Let's take a look at the board here. There's a little differences here. Brought to you by the Ticket to Ride Europe are these tunnels, and they're also in Asia. So if I wanted to go on this route here, I would have to throw down 3 white cards like normal, and I would put my trains here. But notice this one has a 6 on it. What that means is basically I have to pull up 6 cards, and if any of these are white, I have to have more cards in my hand to play down. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. None of them are white. If one of them was white, I would have to play another white or wild card from my hand in order to get it. If this came up and I didn't have enough, then I get to take my cards back and I don't get to go there, and that's the end of my turn. If I played 3 wilds, all exclusively wilds to go there, 3 of them, then only when wild cards come up would I need another card, but I would need a wild card to suffice that. So that's essentially how the tunnels work. We see some double and triple routes here. These work a little differently than normal. With the double routes, if you have 4 players or less, meaning 2 teams, only one of these double routes are able to be used. The only exception to that is Hong Kong to Canton, which no matter how many players, there can be people on both of these routes. With the full 6 players or 3 teams, that's when the double routes open up. We also have a couple places where there are some triple routes. These triple routes are also only opened up completely when there's a total of 6 people or 3 teams. But in this case, if there's only less than that, only 2 of these are opened, they can actually be, any 2 of those can be used. And in this case, they can actually both be used by the same team to block other people out of it, which is different than normal. Now the scoring by placing trains is the same as the original USA version, except now there's a place that you could drop 7 trains for 18 points. And people play as normal. When one team has a combined 4 trains or less, that starts the last round. Everybody, including them, gets one more turn. And then we score up all the points, but there's some bonuses. Asian Express, again, this is the longest single route, is going to get 10 extra points. And the Globetrotter points, the one who's completed the most destination tickets is going to get 10 points. The team with the most points at the end is the winner of the Team Asia. Now we're going to take a look at the Legendary Asia map, which I flipped over to that side. And we have some interesting new things like mountains, and we have ferries that were there in Europe and coming into here. So let's talk more about how this is different. At the beginning of Legendary Asia, you're going to get giving 4 destination tickets. Now they're a little bit different here. This one has a purple top and a different little marker. These are from a deck of 6 long tickets that are in the game. So everyone's going to get 1 long ticket and 3 normal tickets. The long tickets go up to 18. So you get 1 of these and 3 others. The other ones range anywhere from 5 to 12. From these 3, you have to select at least 2 of them. Any of the ones that you discard and get rid of, including this one if you got rid of this one, and any of the long tickets that weren't given out at the beginning of the game, they go into the box and they're out of the game for the rest of the game. So this is your only chance to get a long ticket. Now let's look at the board and some of the other interesting things of here. Here we have ferries, which I believe were also brought during the Europe version first. And with the ferries, let's say I'm trying to go on this black route. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 of these cards have to be black or wild for this. And the last one has to be a wild, and that's how you can play the ferries. Is anywhere you see the locomotive icon, it needs to be played a wild. There's also double routes in this map, just like the original USA version. These are only available, both of them together are available in 4 or 5 player games. 3 or less, only 1 of them available, and the same player cannot use both of them if it is open. And there's a new thing called mountain routes here. You can tell they're mountains because they have the X's on them. So let's say we're going up to this mountain here. Like normal, you would play 3 cards of red. In this case, let's say maybe I have 2 reds and a wild. You don't need a wild to use the mountains, but let's just say we use 2 reds and a wild to get here. And we go 1, 2, 3, place our trains. For every spot where there's an X, after placing your 3 trains, you take one from your stash and you're going to place it in a different spot on the board. You're going to place it right here in the bottom right-hand side of the board. These are sort of lost trains that have just been demolished by the wear and tear that takes going up and down mountains. And for each of these X's, you have to put down 1 train. And each of the trains that you put in here, you get 2 points. So it's sort of a trade-off. It's kind of a good strategy when you're trying to end the game. If you're ahead of everybody and you want to end it, just go over a bunch of mountains, you lose a bunch of your trains. It's an interesting twist. Scoring trains is the same as the original version. Certain amount of trains, certain amount of points that you put down. The end of the game is the same. If 0, 1, or 2 trains left, it starts the last round. And at the end, the bonus is different though. The Asian Explorer bonus gives you 10 points for the person who's connected the most amount of cities in one line. So it's not the longest train, but whoever's connected the most amount of cities in one line, the one who has the most points wins Legendary Asia. All right, well there's Ticket to Ride Asia. But the reason why I really like this game, and the reason why I wanted to get it in the first place, was the team version. I just think that's cool that you could play with teams. So when we played it, I did really like it. Now I gotta say that when I did play it a couple times, I played with my family who's played Ticket to Ride like once or twice before. And I found them at the beginning struggling because of just our, Americans are synonymous for not learning any other languages and not learning any of the geography, right? So when you have a geography map of cities that are hard to say and you're not really even sure where they are, and you've got the name on the map and even on the cards, they have the little dots that show where they are, it takes a little longer for us, spoiled Americans to look at the cards and really figure out where they are. So, it went slower than normal because of that, but I think over multiple plays that would get better. But the team version, I loved it. Some people would have rather had either have all the information shared between the team, and I disagreed with them. I really like how some of the information's shared, but some of it's secret because you're working together, but sometimes you could do things to screw each other up, and that's just fun. Sure, you're not gonna like your wife when she takes the route that you want to take to do your card, but hey, it's still helping you, or vice versa. It's just really cool that you can be working together but still kind of screw each other up. I thought that was a good dynamic. I also like that, but you could mitigate that by for your turn. You could put those 2 cards, the destination tickets, in the pile where she could see it. So you can mitigate that by showing each other more and hoping that they pick up on it. So overall, the team version was really the reason why I wanted this expansion, and I gotta say, I think it knocked it out of the park. I love the team version. Now granted, like I said, some people might struggle with the map a little bit, and I probably wouldn't play this with someone who hadn't played one of the original Ticket to Ride first, just because, there's a lot going on there. You should have some knowledge before you try to play the team game, I would think. That was my experience, but I loved it. The other side, the Legendary Asia, it's, hey, who doesn't want another map, right? It didn't add anything like crazily new. The ferries are cool, but those are there in Europe. The mountains were cool. I like the mountains, how you can use that to get rid of your trains quickly. If you're ahead in the lead and you think you've got the most points, you can go on the mountains and just trashing all your trains and you're getting points for them, but you're going down in trains. So all in all, Legendary, it was good. I like having it, but really the team version is where this thing shines. So if you've got Ticket to Ride and you'd like to play it with teams, or you want to try a different map, this is definitely a good one to check out. Ticket to Ride Asia.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.